Hi there, I'm Beth Castellini. I'm a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and today I wanted to show you a quick and easy way how you can make 4 quick cards just using a stamp set, some ink colors, and some cardstock. To get started, we're going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 11, and I trimmed it down to 8 by 10.5. Then what you're going to do is you're going to score. I'm going to be scoring at 4 along the 8-inch side, and I'm going to be scoring at 5 1/4 on the 10.5-inch side. That is going to give us a guide as we are stamping our images, and also it will be easy for cutting. So now you will see that I have the score line, and I'm going to start my focal point right here in the middle. I'm going to start with the largest stamp, which is this beautiful, I want to say it's almost, it's the greenery with the berries, but it's that fine greenery. It's very pretty. It's almost like the thickness of a rosemary bush. So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to be using Blueberry Bushel. And I'm just going to start in the middle as my focal point. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to stamp right there in the middle. It's so pretty. You can see the distinctiveness of the stamp where it's light and dark shaded. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to go in other directions along the score lines. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp up here, and you can tell that there's no wrong or right way. I'm just going ahead and using that score line as my guide. Okay, that's really pretty. I do love this Blueberry Bushel. It's just the vibrancy of the blue just makes it so pretty. So then the next one I would like to use is this beautiful berry right here, and I'm going to be using Moody Mauve. And again, I'm going to use the middle as my focal point. And I do want some of it to come off of the paper, away from the score line, so we can create some of the beautiful background stamping and not have a lot of white space. I can always go back as I'm stamping to fill in those white spots if I need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the berries where I would like to see them. Here we go. And off there. Let's do a few more from the corners. Maybe not that corner. Let's do one more right here. Let's see. Maybe off, it's going this way, right here. Okay, I think right now I'm just going to keep that the way it is. I can always come back and fill it in. Then I'm going to take Lost Lagoon and use this beautiful leaf image. Again, starting, I tend to start from the middle and work my way out. And you might think that the Lost Lagoon, it's almost a green color, but it has a hint of blue in it. But it really does well with this color scheme that I'm using. And I am stamping off a little bit because when you cut it, you'll see that you'll have some white space, but we're going to fill that in. Let's see, where else do you think we should go? I think we should go right here. You really think at first that, oh gosh, this is going to not look right, but it comes together so beautifully. And let's see, I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and put that aside. And then now I'm going to use Smoky Slate as my last one and use this. It's almost like a eucalyptus, but I wanted to use it with the Smoky Slate. So we're going to definitely cover up my mistake right there. That's a definite must. But you really won't notice it once the cards come together. As you can tell, it's really pretty how it's all starting to come together. And I am going to leave a little bit of white space so we can put the sentiment on the card. Okay. Oh, I think I need one more right in there. And oh, I need a few more over here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to turn it and look at it from all angles just to get an idea of how I like it. I feel like we need a little bit more right here. And maybe one right along here. There we go. And if I'm not satisfied, then I can go back in and add some more. And I think what I end up with the other 4 cards I did is I ended up coming back with the Moody Mauve. And of course, I do want to cover up some of my oopsies. But that's the beauty about stamping. There we go. And let's do some out here. Definitely out there. And I think we need some more down here. Maybe one more. I do want to show off more of the Moody Mauve, but as you can see, this is really coming together. The blueberry bushel really does stand out a lot. So I think just having that few images that we stamped are going to be just fantastic. Okay, so now what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've made our paper. And now what we're going to do is we're going to score at our score lines, or cut actually. We've already scored. So I'm going to go ahead on this side and I'm going to go ahead and cut at 4 along the 8-inch side. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut at 5 1/4. The cutter, it's wonderful because it does have the scoring tool, which helps you because you can cut and score around the same time. So, okay, now we have our 4 panels. I'm going to use as my cardstock, I'm going to be using Lost Lagoon. So what you want to do now, well, actually before that, but the Lost Lagoon, it's going to be really pretty because it's going to give that hint of the background. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. I think that's beautiful. But what I'd like to do first is I want to splatter, because of see all the white that I want to sort of give some space in there, a little bit more filling. So I'm going to use our Stampin' Right marker. And here I'm using Smoky Slate. We have a fine tip and we also have a broad tip. I'm going to be using the broad tip today. And all I'm going to do is flick the end of the brush tip with the cap. and you can tell I start to get a splatter. You can do as little or as much as you want to, but I just wanted to give that. So it's almost like we're looking outside, it's snowing a little bit. This will not damage your end of your brush tip. It's actually a really quick and easy way to give a scattered image onto the paper. Just by adding some of that splatter, gives a little bit more depth to the card and fills in some of that white space. Now we want to decide which way we would like our cards to go. So I have my card fronts already scored, cut and scored. They were cut at 5. It was an 8.5 by 11 piece, scored at 5.5 and scored at 4.25. Remember, when you are scoring and folding your cards in, you're always going to fold into the mountain. Here's the valley, and then here's the mountain. Okay, so I've already done 4. So now I'm going to look at the orientation and see which way I would like this to go. I'm going to put these aside for just a minute because I'm just going to lay out exactly how I want this to go. I'm going to be using 1 sentiment from the stamp set. We'll do this one there, that one there, and this like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be using this saying, the colder weather brings us together, and I'm going to be using Blueberry Bushel. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp. This one, I'd like to stamp it right here. And then this one, I'm going to stamp here in the corner. And the next one, I'm going to, let's see. No, I was going to go it this way. There we go. Okay. And our last one, I'm going to go ahead and there. I'm going to go ahead and mount them on. I'm going to mount 2 of them on just the regular way, just to layer it. If this is all you need, you just need some glue. This is our liquid glue. Very easy because it's forgiving. If you're laying your card on and it's a little askew, then you can just move it a little bit. But look how well that came together. It's so pretty. And I just love how you can just create the side of the card with just some images. And then we're going to go the other way. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's just the 2, just like this. If you wanted to add a little bit more to the card, we have this beautiful ribbon, and it is the white iridescent ribbon. And if you look at the iridescent, the colors just pick up, and it's so pretty. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut a little piece, and I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to add the ribbon to the side here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece. I don't need that much because I'm going to just wrap this piece around and turn it over. That's where I'd like it to lay. And I'm going to use our tape runner. And there we go. And then I think what I'd like to do is I would like to go ahead and use our dimensionals this time. And we're going to pop up the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put about 7. I always like to put my dimensionals in the middle because when you're mailing the card, you can mail it flat. It's not going to pop up in the middle if you have it adhered down with our dimensionals. The dimensionals come in a pack of 3, and there's 100 on each sheet, and you use all of it. And these are great. So you can use every last inch of the sheet. All right, so then we're going to take and go ahead and lay this down. Then I'm going to take a piece, and I'm just going to probably cut a piece about this, and I'm just going to make a knot just to give it a little bit extra, a little extra something. Oh, I think that's so pretty. Whoops, there we go. There, now, so that one, that's just adding a little bit of ribbon, just a little bit more to the card. All right. And then our last one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, but I'm going to add some bling to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and get my card front, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it on. Okay. And lay it right on there. And this time we're going to be using these beautiful gems that are called the Faceted Gems Trio Pack. And I'm just going to add a few. So you have this beautiful, I think it's a silver or smoky slate actually. Then you have your clear, and then you've got your Lost Lagoon. Really pretty. So we're just going to add a few to the card. I'm going to be using my Take Your Pick tool, which is really great. And I'm going to be using this end that has the sticky putty on it, and it's going to help me lift up the faceted gem onto the card. And I think I want to be using the Lost Lagoon. These are big gems, and I probably will use 3, but you could just use 1. Actually, we're going to use all 3 of them so you can get an idea of all of the colors. So let's put that one there. And then there. Okay. So there you go. So now we have our 4 cards. And I want to show you a real quick way that you can use just for the sentiment inside. I'm just going to be using, again, the berry one with the Moody Mauve. But this time I'm going to stamp off so it's lighter when I put it onto the inside of the card. I have 4 pieces here cut by 4 by 5 1/4. And so I'm going to have 2 that are going to go this way, and I'm going to have 2 that are going to go this way. Okay, so let's do this one first. And I'm going to take my Moody Mauve, and I'm just going to stamp it and stamp off, and then go ahead and stamp right there. I want a lighter image because I'm going to do the sentiment stamp over it. And the same thing with this way. Okay, so I have that. Then I'm going to take the sentiment, "May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight." And I'm going to use the blueberry bushel. And I'm going to stamp, here we go, right over it. That's a little askew, but that's okay. I'll make sure this one is a little more straight. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So you would do that to the other 2 as well. And then you're going to go ahead and adhere to the inside. I tend to always go towards my liquid glue just because I find it easy to help me place and put together very quickly. And then we're going to use this one for inside here. All right. And now we are finished. Whoops. See, this is why we like the adhesive. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to show you what all 4 cards look like. And then I also have some samples of another set that I did using the same stamp set. Okay, so the other 4 I did a different colorway. Here's this one right here. And again, I did the same technique, but it gives a different way if you look at the ones. So here's with the Lost Lagoon, and here's with the Smoky Slate. So you can definitely see how the colors stand out on different cardstock. And then this last one, this is really going all out, is I made a double bow. It's almost like a present. And then I just use one faceted gem. So I really hope that you enjoyed these cards today. And this gives you an idea that you don't have to have all the card bases, or the colored cardstock, I should say, but you can just make it your own. So I hope you really enjoyed that today. And I really thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, I will have everything listed down below of all of the supplies that I used today. And I will also have the directions. Hopefully you have a great day. Happy stamping.